Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do a quick video on prototyping web or mobile applications using Figma. And the whole reason that I got into Figma in the first place is thanks to this comment by Stephen Lay, who is a regular commenter on this channel. Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate you. You rock. Okay, so clearly the lesson to learn here is that I take your comments very seriously and that you should leave a comment below. And while you're at it, hit that like button, smack subscribe, and ding that notification bell next to subscribe so that you can see the videos when I upload them. Okay, so without further ado, here is the opening page. As you can see, I've messed around with some other things. And here's a Figma basics file, which is one way to get an introduction to Figma. If you, like me, found it very overwhelming, just double click on this file that comes with Figma and basically read it from left to right, and you can do these little exercises here. But hopefully you won't need to, because I think we're going to cover a lot of bases in this quick tutorial. So, okay, here's back on the home screen, and then I'm going to press this plus in the nav bar, and then it's going to come up as an untitled file. Let's just give this bad boy a name. So I will call it YT tutorial v1. YT is in YouTube. Okay, and I'm going to press, very first thing, I'm going to press F, which is for frame. You can see that it's highlighted over here. And then I'm going to choose the dimensions that I would like to build for. So I'm going to choose an Android since that is my phone of choice. And that's the very first thing that I like to do when starting a new application is to go to Google. You can see I already have it up here, but let me show you how I got there. And press in Adobe Colors, and then click there, and you can see that it comes up with different options for how you can put colors together. I like to go to the Explore, and let's just select this one randomly. Okay, so let's select this baby, and then I'm going to take a screenshot of it. If you're on a Mac, you can do Command-Control-Shift-4 if you don't know that already. Take this screenshot, and then I'm going to place that screenshot into my Figma file. And something important while you're working on these prototypes is to keep your elements clean in this sidebar over here as you go. Okay, so I'm going to name this image as color scheme, and then this is fine as Android 1. And here's the really cool thing about Figma. So if you're not convinced yet that you should use this, I'll show you why I think it's cool right away. So what I'm going to do, I have this selected. I'm going to press R, which stands for rectangle, and I'm just going to make a rectangle that's like super large. Let me resize it so that it fits the screen here. So you can see that it extends far beyond the bottom of the frame, but it's still within our Android 1 in this left-hand sidebar. And I'm going to recolor this bad boy. So I click here under fill, and then I'm going to change this to linear. Okay. And let's choose some of these colors. Pourquoi pas? Why not? Okay, 0424 D9. And then over here, why don't we do 03178C? And that's set at 0% fill. That's interesting. Okay, so obviously that's going to be all the way down here, and we can't see beyond the extension of our frame, right? But we're not. So what I'm going to do is, thank you, I'm going to click out of there, click on the Android, and then I'm going to press play over here while I have Android 1 selected. And then we're going to have this other page come up with an Android phone here, pretty cool. And, oops, I forgot, I have to go to prototype and click vertical scrolling. Vertical is up and down. And then I can come over here and scroll just like it were my phone, just like I can scroll on my phone. So I hope you're convinced now, like, you can actually make a design and look at it as if it were on your phone already. So you can't do everything that you can do actually coding it out, but it can give you a good idea of the layout. And here's another cool thing. So like, let's look at this rectangle element that I just created. And I'm going to go to inspect and check this out. It gives me the CSS that I'm going to need later. So I'm not going to have to now remember, oh, is it linear gradient? Like, what are all of the different options that I go in there? What is the RGBA? Like, it's right here. So when you go to code this in, sorry, this is out of focus. So when you go to code this in React or with Gatsby in React or whatever, or just with plain old regular schmegular JavaScript, you're already going to have this styling like as a reference for you, which is really cool. Let me show you something else you can do real quick. So we have this large rectangle. I'm going to press R again, and I'm going to create like a nav bar at the top. Okay, you can see when it's perfectly aligned because it'll have a little red X pop up in the little corner there. I'll show you over here. So I'm going to align it perfectly, and it has that red X pop up in the corner. That's great. And let's give this a nicer color. Again, this is an inspect, so go back to the design, go to fill, go to color. You can select colors we've already used down here. Why don't I choose this light blue, 3DADF2. Okay, that's fine. Probably I would actually use a darker one, but let's just do that. 020F59. Okay. And so now we have our nav bar, and I'm going to go over here to design while I have the nav bar selected. And why don't I be consistent and name this baby nav bar? And I'm going to come over here and write fixed position when scrolling. Okay, so now I can go back over here. I can either press the play button or just click over here. And you can see that I can scroll up and down, and I have this nav bar fixed to the top. So that is very helpful. All right, let me show you some other cool tools that you can use on Figma. So one thing you know if you've followed along with my channel and have seen my React.js tutorials is that React and other programming languages these days, we're moving towards component-based programming, which is when you can design a component and have it be reusable throughout your code. And this is pretty clean, and it makes for a nicer coding experience in general. So what's cool about Figma is it's component-based prototyping. So let me give you an example. Let's say that this application is like our YouTube front page. I'm going to click R again, and I'm going to put in a video component here. Okay, and I'm going to have it be aligned there. And I'm going to give this different elements. So I'm going to click R. I'm going to put this like here. I'm going to call this video. I'm going to call this frame. And then I'm going to Command C, Command V, just copy and paste. And then I'll just have this area here, which is for the video description. Okay. So now I'm going to group all of these together by pressing Command G, group, and I'm going to call this a video. Excuse me, I need some tea or something. Okay, so here's a really cool thing. Remember, I told you this is component based. Why don't I give these different colors just so you can see? I'm going to do this real quick because I want this to be a fast video. Okay, wow, not gorgeous. That's why we have this design over here, but this is just me trying to be fast. Okay, so now we have this video group. What I'm going to do is I have it selected, and I'm going to press on a Mac, it's Command Option K, and you see that the icon here, I can press Command Z like usual is to go backwards. The option here is going to turn from a square, Command Option K, is going to turn into this kind of diamond icon. And then when we go to assets, we're going to see it over here too. This is called a video. And by the way, you can make this fill into an image if you like. So why don't I just pick a random image that I have from pexels.com. If you don't know, you can get free downloaded images on Pexels. So let's just say that this is the image of a YouTube video. And you can press T to add some text here. So, okay, you can see that the text icon is selected because I pressed T. And then say, give this like a name. I don't know off the top of my head what all the elements are, but probably it's like the video subscriber's name. Probably like if you want to put in an ellipse, press shift so that we can make it into a circle. And this is like the icon. You can put an image in there. Maybe the, okay, name of video. And then beneath that you can put like the name of YouTuber. Okay. So now we have this video element, and as you can see, this asset is updated here too. And what we can do is we can duplicate this asset so that we can have multiple of these. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to create another nav bar for the bottom. So I'm going to actually not fix this position because it's not fixed in YouTube. And I'm going to Command C, Command V, and this baby I'm going to call footer menu, which is fixed in YouTube. So now I'm going to fix position when scrolling. And because I have that footer at the bottom, which is telling me where this, where this frame stops, I'm actually going to increase the size of the frame. So I'm going to press done here, click on the frame, because I can always reduce it again, but I just want to be able to see everything that's going on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to assets, Command C, okay, and I'm just going to duplicate that. I'm going to do it again, and we can see how it looks over here. So let me make that smaller so we can see that we're just duplicating it and moving it down. So this is sort of what the YouTube application looks like, right? And here's something else. I'm running out of time. I really want this video to be short. So I'll make it a little larger than that, like to go there maybe. Oh no, sorry, the frame actually should end where this footer is. Great. So now we can go over and look at it, and you can see this. Now, something that I have learned is that, and you'll probably run into this, is that sometimes you're going to want to change elements of a component, like maybe you want to change the location of the wording. So let me just show you real quick that if you change the master component, so let's say that I change this color so that it's one of our nicer colors over here, 031CA6 for instance. Oh, that's not as light as I'd like. Let's do this 0424D9. Okay, that's nicer. So we're going to notice that actually that changes every single component that follows it. So it's component based. It's just like in our regular, when we're coding in React, when you change the component, then every instance of that component is going to change as well. Now you can override certain things. For instance, by the way, this color is still horrible, so I'm just gonna change it again. It needs to be lighter. Yeah, that's fine. So some things that you can change include like the text. So let's give this YouTuber name of video is Figma tutorial. Ooh, I would click on that. I would click that video, you know? And then name of YouTuber xtinapark. You should subscribe to that video. I think I would. Okay, so yeah, that is something that you can override. It's like text. But something that you can't override in an instance of a component is the positioning of the text, for instance. So I can't, nope, see, I have this text selected and I can't pull it over. So what you can do if you really want to override something is press Command Option B so that it's no longer the instance of a component. So you successfully copied the component, used it again, but you can make it not an instance anymore so that you can mess with these not overridable elements. I'm not sure why you would want to in this instance, but sometimes you will want to do that. So again, I'm going to move this frame up here. There's so much that you can do. It's pretty fun. Like, you should just get in and start playing with it. I'm just going to show you real quick that you can actually make like some elements interactable. So I'm going to click up here on the nav bar. I'm going to press T and I'm going to put click me here. I'm just going to make this a white fill. Come on now. I guess I got to Control A. And then I'll make it a white fill. And I'm going to group these together. Command G, name that group navbar, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this entire component, Android 1, so copy, paste. We have Android 2 come up over here, and then I'm just going to rename this I have been clicked. This isn't very cool. This isn't a very cool effect, but it gives you the idea, and I'm excited to see what y'all do with this. And if you do follow this tutorial and then do a cool application in Figma, please tweet it at me at xtina_park on Twitter. Okay, so what you can do is come over here and go to prototype, and then see this little red thing here. So whenever you click on the nav bar, I'm going to have it move over to Android 2, and it's going to say on tap, navigate to Android 2. Fantastic. And then I'm going to have the same thing over here. So I'm on prototype, so I can click this circle on the side, and then I'm going to say on click, navigate back to Android 1. Great. So see, this play means that it's going to start there when we press the play button. Oh, we have it over here too. So we have our video as usual, and I'm going to press click me, and then it goes to the other screen. It says I have been clicked, and then I'm going to press back and it's going to say click me. So there you go. You can even incorporate interactivity into your Figma design. And we have gone over what I had hoped the time would be. So once again, if you enjoyed this video, smack that like button. You haven't done it already? I can't believe you. Smack it. Smack that. Okay? And yeah, I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend. If you're watching this from the States, I hope you had a lovely Thanksgiving. I know this is a really weird year, and it's been harder for us to get together physically with our family and friends, but guys, stay connected. That's the great thing about the internet, right? We kind of have this way to build communities beyond what we've ever been able to do before. And on that note, I am genuinely thankful for y'all. I've had really cool interactions come out of having this YouTube channel already, like just being able to interact with you guys, get advice from you, even talk with some of you directly. So thanks for being here, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.